Hey, this is CVG Head to Head, and we are pitting the Xbox One against the PlayStation 4. Yesterday we did games and services. The day before that we did controllers, and we're ending on hardware.
Hardware and devices.
Hardware and devices, getting that PlayStation Vita in there early, right in there.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. That's what I'm going to win hands down. So, but I guess what the PlayStation 4 doesn't come bundled with much extra like devices, but the Xbox One's completely different. Every Xbox One unit comes with Kinect.
Out of the box, everything you need is there.
Yeah, and let's be honest, the first one was crap. The first Kinect was annoying, unreliable. Like no one used it.
So bad that I think I saw it on sale for £6 recently, brand new. That's how bad it is.
Jesus, I mean, even the hack community sort of died.
Yeah, they
when the
gave
hack
up pretty
community
quickly.
dies, you know it's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but the new Kinect is great.
It is very, very, very good when it wants to work well. It just chooses. Like today, I'm going to be a stroppy git. I'm not going to listen to anything.
Right.
But yeah, but most of the time, I love the fact that I can walk into a room and say Xbox on.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
99% of the time, and I can love the fact that I don't need.
Do you not just like go instead to turn things on, or?
No, because sometimes I'll come into the room, like my man cave, and it won't be
your man cave.
It'll be like I'll turn the Xbox on, just have it going in the background, so while I'm doing other things, like I might surf the net on my computer nearby or something like that. So the hunting down, and a lot of people play the Xbox as well. So hunting down the controller in the actual room can be a pain in the butt sometimes. So if I can just turn the Xbox off, and the fact that now I don't need it for most of the things that I want to do that are non-gaming is amazing too. So if I want to watch Netflix, I don't need the controller to surf the Netflix.
Yeah, yeah.
If I want music, or if I just want to see my friends.
The Kinect is more advanced than the PlayStation camera. PlayStation camera still has some features. Like the other day, I was cleaning up the living room and I said PlayStation.
Clean harder, it told you.
It said you're not doing a good job.
You missed the spot.
Yeah, yeah, I could actually see it. No, but as I was cleaning up, I actually didn't know where the controller was, so I just said PlayStation power, enter standby mode, and it turned itself off as I was cleaning around the house.
So you have to go through an actual like drop-down menu in voice form. PlayStation power, turn off.
Look, I mean, that's a little difference, but that aside,
it's a big difference though, when you're.
It still feels futuristic. It still feels fantastic to talk into the air and a console do something.
Yeah, I just like how natural it is on the Xbox. Obviously, it's natural to the point where it picks you up in conversations and can react like if you're like, oh, I haven't turned my Xbox on yet. It turns on.
Just out of interest, how does it stand? Because I will say one thing about the PlayStation camera, they give you some double-sided sticky tape.
Right. It's quite sturdy.
Hold the whole thing together.
I know. It's quite sturdy. It can't be put on top of a TV or anything like that. It's got like a really thick base to it, so you've got to put it. Mine's sitting in front of my TV on the bezel at the bottom of my TV, the stand area.
Okay, yeah.
So I just put it there, but it's perfectly fine. It's out of the way. It's got a really, really wide field of view. So it's like the closer I get, it still picks me up, and it's quite good about it. Like I have people wandering in and out of the frame, and even on the fringes of where it can see, it will see someone for a brief second and say hello to them and sign them in and that kind of thing. So it's a really, really, really good camera. I'm surprised at how much I'm using it. I always thought, I was one of those people that was always like, why would I do that when I can just press a button? But it is convenient now. It's really easy. And the fact that you can use it in addition to your controller. So it might be like you're surfing around navigating around the store, and you can just say Xbox Snap in Netflix. I don't have to go to Netflix using this. I can carry on doing it, and it's just naturally snapping something else in.
So you're multitasking.
It's like natural multitasking. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
I find that really valuable.
Really look, as much as I want to win this, I'm going to have to be honest. I mean, the trump card is PlayStation Vita compatibility. There's remote play functionality, which is basically pretty much every game on the PlayStation 4 you can sync to your PlayStation Vita. So you can stream to your PlayStation Vita, so you can actually play it on your Vita. I've tested this out myself. I have a pretty high connection, fast broadband connection. It's not responsive. I mean, it isn't. I mean, you can.
For a moment, I was thinking, how am I going to defend against that?
Well, like, I mean, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. Okay, so the screen isn't as good. It's darker. I mean, well, in the case of Killzone, it was darker. In the case of Killzone, there was noticeable lag. It's not as good as they're selling it to be. That's not to say it won't improve in the future. It might improve in the future, but I wouldn't say it's a killer feature. What I would say about the PlayStation 4 that is a killer feature is it's clearly a far more powerful piece of hardware, sold much cheaper.
Personally, the idea that I really, really like is being able to cross-buy some sort of game and then have a cloud save that bounces between both of them. So if I've got an RPG like a Final Fantasy that works between them, if you're gonna, shit on your own device, I'll help you out a bit. If you've got an RPG where I'm like, I need to grind, but I need to leave the home at the same time, I can just transfer, as Kojima would call it, that save over and continue grinding when I'm on the train in the game, not just up against like a pole. Or anything like that.
Right, okay.
And then come back and that seems interesting to me. But again, it requires someone to purchase an additional bit of hardware, and that's, although it's not, the Vita is really, really cheap, and on its own, I cannot recommend it enough. It's such a brilliant, amazing little device.
Yeah, fantastic.
But as a kind of partner device to the PlayStation 4, currently, I don't think it works.
Well,
I don't think it earns.
With your PS Vita, you can download this app that allows you to sync with the PlayStation 4, and there are 2 modes in it. So remote play is the first mode, and the second mode is dual screen gameplay. Basically, it's like a Wii. It turns into a Wii U controller. Right. Interestingly, they've had no ideas for that yet. There are no games that use this sort of multi-touch screen. Sorry, this touch screen. Basically, a Wii U setup. There are no games that use it yet, but it has that functionality. And isn't a Vita, like, the difference between an Xbox One and a PS4 is about £100. Sorry, about £100, right. About £80. Right. Isn't that the same price as like a Vita?
But when you've just coughed up 400 odd quid for a console, an additional £100 might not be anything much in another time of the year, but when you've just literally done, people aren't swimming in pools of money. £100 is always going to be important. Yeah, I know, but like when you've just spent it on a console, asking for another £100 on top is a lot.
No, I'm saying asking for £100 for nothing or £100 to buy a Vita on top, that's a key difference.
Yeah, but you're buying a piece of hardware right now which has little to no benefit to you. If you're paying 50, 60 quid to have extra for a Kinect, which
cloud saving and cross.
Yeah, even look at your face, like you're convincing yourself that you're trying to.
No. I think that's absolutely right. You can cross. So you can either games.
So what we're saying is you can either spend the 100 odd quid, buy a Vita, and it really won't enhance your PlayStation 4 experience.
Or you can buy a more powerful.
I'm talking here, Rob. Quite down.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know this was
Or you can spend the 50 or 60 quid on top of what it would have cost you for the Xbox, have a Kinect which works perfectly well. It does amazing things, makes your entire experience more interesting, more streamlined, and on a gameplay perspective. On a gameplay, it's just because I'm a Pakistani, so it's like, what is this voice? It's that voice. If you're just an average white guy, black guy, whatever, and you're speaking into it, it'll pick you up fine. You're cool. Brown people, sorry about that. But yeah, I think I made my point. The Kinect is
we should really quickly touch on the design of the systems themselves. And I think the more pressing question is not which one's more attractive, but which one's the uglier one, because they're both quite ugly, aren't they, really?
I don't know, I like the way the PS4 looks.
Oh,
but
wow,
I realised that the Xbox looks...
Have you felt it, though? It feels so cheap.
How much do you touch your console regularly?
Yeah, but like
I'll touch it when I'm putting it somewhere and then never touch it again. I'll look at it.
It's like they only put a little bit of gloss on one side.
It's fine. Like, it looks nice to me. The Xbox, it looks like...
It looks like Two-Face.
It looks like a VCR, but again, I realised that's a concession they had to make a device that is always on and constantly running, and they've obviously learned from their mistakes from the Red Ring, because they built that thing. I'll be very surprised if there are continuing issues with the Xbox One.
I mean, have you seen the size of that fan?
Fan is
it's epic, isn't it? I mean,
you can stand in it like with your hair blowing back and stuff like that.
I'm actually really worried if I leave my PlayStation 4 on for like, I don't know, an entire night, it will just melt into a big plastic brick because, I mean, they've even got the power brick in there
Maybe
as well.
you could like shift it back into a normal standing position instead of like backslash.
Yeah.
Right, I think that'll bring
That's it, yeah.
the argument to a close. So, as with yesterday's episodes, there's a poll underneath the video.
If you're watching this on YouTube, just go on the website.
cvg.co.uk or computerandvideogames.com if you want to stretch your fingers. Vote for who you think made the better argument.
Yep. If you think Timur's right, vote for Timur. If you think I'm right, vote for me. We will collate the results. We'll talk about them probably next week, probably on Monday. And yeah, speak soon.